Hi, I'm Roel, and today I'd like to show you a new type of jig, a flattening jig, and I didn't see this possibility on the net or anywhere else, so I think it's quite a new thing. And in a way it's a crossbreed between a flattening jig and maybe some type of milling machine. And that's what I'd like to show you. Well, the platform. Sizes, they don't matter much. They are arbitrary. It's just how big you want to make it. With me it's MDF, the plate. And it's factory sanded and primered, this plate. That's the white stuff. And it's 37 centimeter. And it's 18 mil thick. And there is a table clamp. You see, I drilled 2 holes. And yeah, I made a clamp for it. But you can buy them. So that you can stick in like this, you see. I brought in a few T-nuts. And that's also where you want it, you know. The sides, well, they are just 4 or 5 screws. Here I have 4 screws in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, yeah, you can leave it a bit loose. So if it's not really in size, you always can put some duct tape or whatever in between to get it bigger. You know, if it's too small. Well, this is the old situation. And these 2 parts I'm gonna reuse. But the walls, they go. They have to go. And then on the new ones we get those 2 stretchers. Well, the new situation, that's gonna be profiles, square, 30 by 30 mil, maybe 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And it has a 2 mil wall. And that's the material. And I used then 14 feet, almost 14 feet from that material. And you have to make, of course, a left and a right one. And they consist out of 5 levels in this case. And that's 15 centimeters high under the bridge. So the passage is 15 centimeter. Well, the shape became a pyramid because I need every time a separated bolt to connect and disconnect each level, separated from the whole wall. And that's then done with this sort of screws. So 1 screw sits in the next, and then he sticks up, and then in here you can tie it up. And that's the meaning, or that's how you connect them for both walls. Well, if you want to scribe them off a bit exact, what you really need is such an upstanding corner piece. And that's very easy then to get them in the right manner on top of them. So if you have that piece, you get the next one and the previous one, and you just put it on top of each other. Put a piece of 30 mil in between, close it off, and you can scribe. You see here, and on the other side over there, but then you turn it around, of course. You see? Also the drill holes, the holes that you still have to drill, I do it in on 5 mil, not to get confused, because I need in one of them, I need metallic 6 or 1/4 inch thread. So like this, if you give it a knock with a hammer, and you give it a 1/4 turn and another knock, you get in here an indentation. And of course they drill then the next hole. And this has to be, because it's metallic 6, it has to be 5 mil. That's the inner diameter. So I drill 5 mil here. Not to get confused, because this has to be 6, because here from the other one, the next one, the following one, comes then the metric 6 bolt through. This goes through and through. So the head is here behind the wall, inside, and then this one falls over it, and that's how it gets connected, and then with a nut on it. So this has to be 6, because this is the last one. Here you have the bridge, and the rest gets all thread, only in the top side. So only this side gets thread, and this side gets a very big hole. And I'll show you it in the other set. This is then, it has green dots, this is then the green set, let's say. And then this is the top part, that's just 6, 4 times 6. But this one is different. This one has 5, and here also 5. 6, 6. But on the other side you have 6 and 12.5, because you want this bolt to go through. You know, it has to be in the thread. So this head has to go through. You see? So therefore you have those big holes. So it's a variety of different sizes of hole. And not to get confused, I mark it right where red. Here I made a mistake. I drilled 6 mil. So now I can't have thread in it, in this one. But that's not a problem, because I just push the bolt through and give it CA glue. And then this is CA glued, and it also sticks. But I like to do it then with thread, and if the thread doesn't work or the thread gets lame, I always can drill it up for 6 and do then a straight bolt. You see? By the way, if you do the thread, you need to use a washer, because on the other side it's a drilled hole and it just falls through, you know, the thread. But normally the thread, it doesn't run all the way to the head of the bolt. You see here, there's a little bit left blank. So to keep the bolt against the wall, you need to work with a washer. So the ones with thread, they have also a washer. Well, to scribe off such a section, well, it's fairly easy. I placed then section, this is then the red one, you see with the red dot. Place that in the corner, come with the other one. You see, like this. But it needs 30 mil clearance. So I do that like this. You see, with a piece of pipe, that's 30. Then I scribe off in the back side. Now I need the next hole. Now that's also very easy. That is, I place it then on 20 millimeters. I do that with a 20 millimeter U part. Place it in like this, like that. Scribe off. Turn it round. Again the piece. Scribe off. And you have right away the next hole. You see? Well, now I have to scribe off this set of holes. And this is then the thread in it. I do that with a drill. Place the drill in, give it a little tap. 1, turn it a quarter, give it another tap. Done. Okay, now I'm gonna tap the thread for the screws, and that's tap number 1 in this case. I only do 2 numbers, number 1 and number 2. I skip the last tap from the handset, and that's number 3, because it's a very thin wall. And if I do it only with 1 and 2, I have a tighter fit. And of course I do it in a 90-degree drill block. Okay, now I go to the drill press for the big 12.5 mil hole to get the screw through, or the head. You see this head, that's 12, so I drill 12.5 to get the screw through. Now I let the drill press centrate the hole, and I do it as follows. I put the drill a bit down like this. I rotate it, press it again, that it's really in the center, and then I close the vise like this. Well, after drilling all the holes, and yeah, you can mount the whole stuff, I gave these holes 0.5 millimeter more. So they are 6.5. This is 6 mil, the bolt, and the holes, they are 6.5. And if you put it together, you lay it flat, and then you tie up the nuts, and then it's always in line. Because with 6 it didn't fit so well, and now it fits better. You see, fits more easy. So after finishing this, we're gonna do the guide parts. Well, in my case, the platform is 37 inner size, and the stretchers, they are 50. They are 50 centimeters long. It's 40 mil by 40 mil. I changed the corners a little for 60, so it's not so sharp. And now the router can go all the way to the wall. With the bit can go all the way to here, and then it's still leaning on the stretchers, on the guide rail. Okay, after preparing the guide parts like this, you see, so you determine where you want to have the rivets. So it can stick a bit out, that's not really a problem, but most nice is, you see, it sticks a little bit out. That's not really a problem, because you can file it off. Main part is in. So now I have the levels 1 spanned in. They are on the platform, and that's where you put the rivets in. Now we have to see if it's square. There's one pilot rivet in, and now we're going to see if it's square. No, it's pretty square. So what I do next, to keep it square, I just give it a little drip of CA. You see, yeah. I give a little drip here, and a little drip there, and let it dry. Now give it a couple of minutes. that you really know that it's dry. So now the whole stuff can't move. So even if I drill, or I drill a bit wrong, it stays in the same position. And what you do when you don't use glue, very easily that it goes a little bit off, maybe a 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, but it goes off. And now it will stay, because this one is clamped and this one is glued. And here it's also clamped. So what I can do now, I have also a clamp here. You see, I can take this one off and give it also a little bit of glue in here. You have to be on the safe side. I use a quad drive, you see. And with that I'm going to do these 2 holes, or 3 holes, you see. By the way, before mounting, take care that these holes over here, that they are really flat, so sand them off. You know, otherwise you have an indiscrepancy. Okay, yeah, I was a bit stupid, I was so busy, I forgot the camera. But we're gonna catch up. As soon as you place number 2, and that's the most tricky, what I do is I place a double cigarette paper in between. You see, like this. So that's 200. So like this, it will be 400. You see? Double. So I place 2 of them, one in the front and the other one, as you can see here, in the back. I place 1 rivet, only one rivet, this one or that one. You just place 1, then you move up to the end of the rail, that's here, and there you get rivet number 2. So now it's still with 1 rivet in the front and nothing in the back. It's still loose, you still can move it. What I do is I give it then with CA glue, like this. I give just 2 drips in the hole where the rivet is going to be. Here, this countersunk hole. I just give it 1 or 2 drips of CA, and that I do in the back side. Here, in the back side. Then I give the drips. Wait until it sets and it's dry, and then you can drill. Put this one away, then you can see it better. So now I have on both holes I have some CA. It's dried up, so this is already solid. I drill 1 in here. 1 rivet. I place 1 rivet and check it again if there is enough clearance so that it will fit in. You see? If it's too tight, you can't move it. Then drill it out, start all over again. And to overcome the CA, the dried CA glue, just heat it up. Do it with a gas bottle, you see, with a flame. I heat it locally, I heat it up, and then you put the chisel in between, and at a certain point it just comes loose. So then you broke the glue, and then yeah, you have to wait until it is cold again, the aluminum, and you start all over again. If it's okay, you can continue. What you can do then is, or here place number 2, number 3, and here number 4. You see at the beginning. And then it will slide as well as the front side, or the left and the right side, and the left side. You see that it slides. The only thing we have to do is to flatten maybe the rivets with a fine file like this, and then I do it with 220 grit. Where is it? This one. That's the 220 grit. And just sand it, and after that the 400. That's it. If you look good and you do that with a piece of sanding paper like this, you see then sometimes here a bit of a black area appearing, and if that happens, it's still too high. As soon as you touch this with your sanding paper, it's flush. Then you can stop. Now, if you do it all okay, this is then where you should end up, in a way. It should slide very smoothly, it glides very smoothly through the rail, you see, without the paper. So this has to be very good. Put some time in it. Okay, a nice tip, if you're gonna add a few extra levels, what I always do, to keep them really to the edges of the platform, I put, yeah, it's a stick, I think it's a bit of a rotan or so, and that I put in between. It has some suspension, it works as a spring, and that keeps it then to the sides, and yeah, then you can build up your platform, you see, like this. Look, don't tie up these cap nuts too hard, because otherwise you make a dent in your profiles. Just tight, just tight, just a bit tight, just by hand. Is tight enough. Well, what you also need is a travel stop, so that it doesn't go too far and that it hits your wall, you know, the aluminum wall. But yeah, for the same price you work with a 32 or bigger, you know, so then you have to stay more clear out of the side. And for that I made a stop. That's this one, and on the other side there's also one. Yeah, in the corner. It's very easy. It's an accenter, and you can adjust it for bigger and smaller router bits. You see, like this, and now it goes all the way. You see, now there's less distance. So yeah, it's a bit adjustable. It's very simple. 6mm. I drilled the hole. I did some thread in it, but you don't need. Bolt through it. Under goes a nut. This is then the accenter. You see, it's just a plate washer and a hole off center. Then just a nut. And then you get all the stuff on it, you know, like the washer, and of course your nut, and that's it. By the way, a good tip, if the sliding action is a bit too narrow, then it goes a bit too difficult, what you can do is place, if you take one panel off, take a side rail off, to place yeah, a bit of duct tape or painter's tape in between, and if one layer is not enough, well, add one more or so, you know. Just as long as that you think, okay, I have now a nice smooth action, you know, without, of course, that it can move, you know. If it moves sideways, that's not so good. It's better that it stays tight. But anyway, that's also a possibility. Okay, I made a height meter, standard for the calipers. And yeah, this is merely an indication. You know, it's not really definite, because yeah, I can't put it to 0, you know, the calipers. But it gives a number. And that number over there has to be in a way the same like in the front over here. So let's see. It's 316. What do we get over here? 319, 318. Well, getting a block of wood or aluminum rectangular 90 degrees everywhere, that's not really difficult. You start out with some double-sided. Bring it flat on the table without any wrinkle, and then you just stick your piece of wood or aluminum or what you have, non-ferro, stick it on the table, and then you can do one side. You turn it around like this, do the other side. So now you have two parallel sides. So after the two sides flat, what you can do now is the four other sides, like this. So I mark one side, in this case red, and put it in between of two XY blocks, like here. You see? Sorry, 1, 2, 3 blocks. Then I take one side, put it like this. This one you still don't need, you can do it, but you still don't need it. Because now we're going to do this. And this has to be exactly rectangular with the 1, 2, 3 block. So that needs a clamp. Like this. So. Now you can do, do it like this. Now you can do this side, and this side is supposed to be 90 degrees with this side, the one who's against the 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we have to do the height, and that has to be also rectangular with the sides. So now the second 1, 2, 3 comes in play, and then you do it like this. Clamp on it like this, and another clamp on it like that. You see? Like this. Now you span it in like this. Then it's really pressed into the corner. And now you can do the top. After this, after doing the top, you turn it around. Sorry, like this. So still side to the same side to the 1, 2, 3. Put it in, span it in again, and do this side. And then you will end up with a rectangular block. Yeah, before I forget, in the platform I brought in several T-nuts, like here, you see. So everywhere that I think I need one, I brought in a T-nut. And then, yeah, I made a few bolts. And yeah, you don't have to buy them, you can make them. It's a thread end, and I soldered a nut on it. And then you get the bolt. And here another one, you see. So I can put it like this. Big one in it. And yeah, like this. And another one in it. You see. Well, if you clamp it in, I wedge it, and you can see that here. 1, 2, 3 blocks, bolted down to the table, 2 wedges, and the object. And here is a wedge under it. And yeah, it's more or less spirit level. It depends, of course, a bit of the block of wood, but roughly, you see. Well, this is the whole setup, and I use at the moment 4. Okay, now we get a linear test to see how it performs. So I have a piece of scrap wood and plate, and it's gonna be here. So first I take a parallel beam. It's really parallel. This one, it's just as width in the front as it is in the back. Then I have my scrap piece. Add 2 pieces of double-sided tape, take it off, flip it around to the beam and stick it on. So now it's parallel with your platform. Well, I placed in the back side on the rail 2 stops. Here's a stop for the router, and in the front on the left side here is also a stop, you see. So the router can't move, he's now steady. He only can go to the front and to the back, but not left and right. And yeah, if you see, it's 2 mil into the material. Well, both of them, they are CNC router bits. This is an 8 mil up spiral, and this is also an up spiral, but 6 mil. And of course, this one is more rigid than this one, especially over that length. Well, as you can see, so easy is it, and the great thing about it, if you do it on a router table, you don't see what you are doing. But now, you really can see what you are doing. you see exactly what the router is going to do. Now I have a bit of a higher position, but that's just to give you a good angle. Normally I go much one level lower, you know, for this. This is 18 and the level is 30, you know. So I take just one level, but now for the camera and to show you well, I took 2 levels. Yeah, and another advantage, if you want to flatten, yeah, you can't do that on a router table, you know, because at a certain point where the material is carrying, yeah, that's gone, because you just routed it away. So you can't do that. But with this position and with this system, you can. And that's a big advantage. Well, to make always slots in little pieces of wood is always a tricky operation. Or you do it with a jigsaw, or you do it with a router table. And with a router table, you drop it on top of the router bit. And all kinds of things can happen. It can jump out of your hands, it can be pulled out of your hands. I find it always yeah, a dangerous operation. Not in this case. This you don't even touch with your fingers, you know. So I bring it on with sticky tape, and then you can do it with your bridge, with your portal, and you can see what you do. Now, first of all, you place a stop block so that you don't go too far, but exactly where you want to be. And you can do the same in the end. Also a stop block. And of course you need 2 stop blocks for the router left and right, for the x-axis. There is one, and on the other side is one here. So the router is now steady. Well, now the stop blocks for the in between. So we have the maximum stop blocks in the end, but these are portable, you know, they are movable. And yeah, it's a smaller wheel. Somewhere in videos you can see it with a square knob like this, but it was too big because then it hits to the cap nuts. So I also had to take a little part off to pass the cap nuts. Like this, you see. So I took a little bit off to be free. Well, the sizes are 2 inch by 3/4 by 1/3 or so, something like that. And there is here a reinforcement screw is through it, and that is to prevent it from splitting. And yeah, they are used for shields of door locks, like this, you see. And yeah, I cut them in size, like this. So that's the stop block. Oh yeah, and this is then metric 6. And this is a 30 mil. I think that's 1 1/4. But you can take any bolt or screw, whatever you have. This is the metric 6. You see? Well, I hope it was an interesting video. And yeah, maybe you can use it for yourself, for your own projects. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching, and maybe till the next time. Bye bye.